guy staring at us.
He sure is.
I think we'd better talk to him before we touch any of his stuff.
Fine.
Hello, sir?
Two strangers, emissaries from the world above.
Yeah, hi. I'm Detective Grimoire, and this is Sally.
State your business, and speak only the truth.
Well, we're here on the request of the captain.
Impossible. The captain is dead. Unless you received a missive from beyond the veil. I should have foreseen this, but now that I'm faced with it, it seems inevitable.
No, sorry, she meant the new captain. Captain Sifo.
Cynthia?
She's asked us to investigate the murder of Magnus Mortuga. We have to talk to all the suspects.
Speaking of, can I ask your name?
Zacharias Zephyr, the Dream Doctor.
A dream doctor? I don't think I've met one of those before.
That is correct. You have not. I alone hold the title.
Because you made it up?
That is correct.
So, Dr. Zephyr, what does a dream doctor do exactly?
He studies the parapsychological qualities of dreams.
Parapsychological?
That's like psychics and telepathy and stuff, isn't it? How does that relate to dreams?
Dreams are transmissions comprised of spirit energy from another dimension.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's common knowledge.
What kind of other dimension?
Spirit energy originates in the spirit realm, of course.
Like the afterlife?
That is but one of many names.
So, have you made any kind of discoveries or breakthroughs?
Nothing I can meaningfully explain to you in your current state.
What about all this stuff in here? What does it all do?
Specialist instruments, most of them too complex or too subtle for you to comprehend.
I don't know. It mostly looks like a bunch of old junk.
It is an unrivaled collection of rare artifacts.
All right. What's the rarest thing you've got?
My rarest items are not for the viewing public.
Okay, now I have to see what they are.
The pull of the unknown. I realized I should have lied and showed you something of middling rarity to throw you off the scent.
Lesson learned, huh?
How come there's a room like this in the submarine anyway?
When I arrived, it was but a simple infirmary. After I set up my equipment, we renamed it the Dream Chamber.
And how long have you been here?
I was the first person to be invited on board. I joined Magnus here shortly before the submarine's maiden voyage.
So, presumably, you know why Mortuga became a submarine captain?
Why?
Yeah, like, where was he going? What was he doing?
He simply told me he'd acquired a submarine and would be living in it for an undisclosed amount of time.
That's all he told you? Yet surely there was more to it.
I don't doubt it. He was a man of secrets, every bit as much as I.
So when you started off, it was just the two of you. But now it's, what, 8 people?
We were 9 souls, now 8. I'm not counting either of you.
Yeah, I figured.
Why did Mortuga want so many people on the submarine?
Only a few of them were invited on board by Magnus like I was. The others crossed paths with him merely by the winds of fortune. The last dream before waking. A single phase. Non-lucid. Focus is soft but heavy. All is dark. The endless void. A low voice speaking a forbidden language. Emerging from the beshroudal of the night black sea. A face. Larger than I had known a face could be. I wake. The room is bathed in green light.
A green light? Like from the wooden boy?
Not dissimilar, but 1,000 times more potent. I leave my chambers, heading for the airlock in which I have some business. I meet Cynthia in the parlor as she emerges from the control room. I notice she is clutching the ship's compass. She also appears visibly upset. Like me, Cynthia's on her way to the lowest deck. She departs and I follow behind. I wait as Cynthia converses with Madame Tadpole at the base of the second ladder. Madame Tadpole ascends the ladder. She is moving with haste and purpose. She requests that I go immediately to the storeroom at the end of the corridor.
Did you go?
As soon as I concluded my business.
Which was?
Nothing of great import, merely something I needed to collect from the airlock.
So you went to the airlock, and then you went to the storeroom?
I did, right after I stopped off at my chambers. You understand I first needed to return certain items to their designated storage locations, after which I truly did do as Madame Tadpole had requested. I did ultimately regret my dallying. As it transpired, she had wished to inform me of Magnus Mortuga's death, and there his body lay, in the shadow of his stone cauldron, his blood pooling beneath him. A potent unease was already germinating amongst the group. Doubts were beginning to be sown, and fingers were beginning to point. Magnus Mortuga was a man of great will and great strength. It is hard, still, to accept that he has left us. I noticed Mr. Dansom was quite determined to hold conversation with Magnus.
What did Dirk want to talk to Mortuga about?
Nothing. It was the act of conversation itself he was after. First-hand experience of Mortuga's mannerisms, affectations, and vocabulary. When I inquired as to why Mr. Dansom held fascination for such things, he said simply, research.
So, Dr. Zephyr, I'm guessing you don't have an actual doctorate.
Correct. I walk not the path of formal academic recognition, not for lack of trying, you understand. 8 separate institutions turned me away, asserting that my ideas were, quote, incompatible with our modern world. They forget, of course, that the modern world is a fleeting and ever-changing thing. Indeed, all of history's greatest scientists battled with such short-sighted stubbornness.
So, you want to be one of history's greatest scientists and fundamentally change how we view the world?
Is that so much to ask?
I mean, yeah, it might be.
So then how did you end up studying dreams?
It was the result of acquiring a particular specimen. It opened up new ways to study the subconscious mind.
A specimen? Like what? An animal?
Yeah, I'm picturing like a lizard floating in a jar of formaldehyde.
Something like that.
So, what are you working on now? Here in your dream chamber?
I'm studying subconscious spirit transmissions, analyzing their meaning, their intention.
Do you need to be in a submarine to do that?
Of course not. However, positioning myself here affords me other opportunities.
Like what?
The possibility of studying the most important specimen of all. If her transmission could be analyzed, interpreted, it would be an unparalleled discovery.
Her?
She is all that stirs in the minds of men that they shall never know. The being known only as the Mermaid.
A person?
I've told you all I know.
Then apparently you don't know much at all.
Correct. I have a curious observation about Mr. Werman. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to perform an analysis, let alone propose a hypothesis.
That's okay. Just tell us anyway.
I observed that he did not seem at all saddened or sorrowed by the death of Magnus Mortuga.
You can't know that. Some people don't always show emotion on the surface.
Of course, quite true. However, Mr. Werman did display an emotion. Relief.
Relief?
Gazing upon the crime scene, much of the tension coiled up in Mr. Werman's body visibly dissipated, and thereafter he seemed energized, galvanized.
How did you meet Mortuga?
It was on my first visit to Silkworm many years ago. I was merely passing through, so I stayed at the inn where Magnus was working at the time.
So Mortuga was just an innkeeper at this point?
Not even. The innkeeper was a woman named Felicia Stonetop. Magnus merely worked under her charge. The two of them split their time between running the inn and running a small sailing ship.
Sounds like quite a nice life.
It is no mark against Cynthia's character. She is a sharp young woman and capable engineer. But I was wholly surprised to learn that she had become captain.
Did she never say she wanted to be captain?
On the contrary, I was aware she'd held such aspirations, initially. But I was under the impression that her campaign had ended in failure.
Meaning?
That Miss Seafoam had made her ambitions known to Magnus, but he had shut them down. I first learned about Symmetry from a newspaper article detailing her residency at the Fortuna Hall Theater. On the surface, it was merely a review of a magic show, but I felt something behind it, something of great interest. To me, it spoke of someone with a close connection to the ethereal plane. Taking an excursion from the submarine, I attended the performance. Afterward, I requested an audience with Miss Silkmoth herself, and speaking with her for a scant few minutes, I learned two things. First, and most importantly, my instincts had been correct. She was indeed fascinated with the great unanswered questions of metaphysicality. She held a yearning to understand that which could not ordinarily be understood. A woman after my own heart.
What was the other thing? You said you learned two things.
That she was thoroughly unhappy with her lot at Fortuna Hall. The theater owner was a heartless woman who, among other indiscretions, did not compensate Symmetry for her work. But she had no family, nor any other connections. She had nowhere else to go.
So you invited her to come live on the submarine?
To put it simply,
Did she bring all her props and stuff with her?
everything she could carry.
Why? Was she gonna keep working as an illusionist on the submarine?
No, Miss Silkmoth would be working with me here in the Dream Chamber.
I notice she's not here anymore.
Her tenure with me has come to an end. She has moved on to pastures anew. It seems our collective fate hangs on the outcome of your investigation.
I guess.
This is a good thing. It is high time for a shifting of the tides.
What do you mean?
There are too many souls aboard this ship, many of them seeking things they shall not find. A bit of light reading,
It's a book about a hex.
So I see, a charming pulp adventure by the looks of it.
How long has this been chained to the foredeck? Do you know?
Since the conception of the submarine, as far as I know. The conception of its current incarnation, I should say. The wider history of the vessel reaches back a good deal further, of course. I believe this to be a depiction of a being known as the Mermaid. However, I've nothing to compare it with, as it's the only depiction I know of.
It doesn't look much like a mermaid.
It doesn't look much like anything, really. Except for the fact it's got a face. At least I think that's a face.
Stories alluding to such a being were the reason I traveled to Silkworm in the first place. However, I was disappointed to discover that nobody in town seemed to know what I was talking about. It seems to be a secret held by only a very select few. Bottled sunlight, it appears somebody's looking to protect themselves from vampires.
There's no vampire on board, is there?
Of course not.
What about Mortuga?
I'll admit, it was a rumor for a time. It's the cloth that Magnus used to cover the cauldron.
Why would he need to keep it covered?
Either to keep it away from prying eyes, or perhaps he concealed it for his own benefit.
Dr. Zephyr, is this yours?
I don't immediately recognize it.
You sure? It really looks like something that'd belong to you.
Of course, I do concede that I have many similar bottles here in my dream chamber, so it's wholly possible that it originated in my collection.
Nice answer. Totally noncommittal.
Before we left port on the submarine's maiden voyage, Magnus asked a favor of me. He wished for me to venture into the Stonetop Inn, collect this cauldron, and bring it on board.
Why couldn't he do it himself? He'd have been strong enough, surely.
I'm not sure exactly. I was already preparing to bring a large amount of heavy equipment on board. I suppose Magnus considered it logical to fold the cauldron into that set.
Was it shut and locked?
Shut, locked, and covered with the sailcloth. Magnus never told me what he kept inside it, if that's what you're asking. As good as they were, it was not Miss Silkmoth's politricks that interested me. Rather, I was interested in the base mindset they were a symptom of. In particular, her ruminations upon the great unknowns of life and death. There are clues to it, right here. Look at the choice of words. Unfathomable, inconceivable. And on the reverse, you need only look at the chosen subject matter for her newest work.
It's a Grim Reaper.
This is where I first learned about Miss Silkmoth and her residence at the Fortuna Hall Theater.
This was after you'd started living in the submarine.
Correct.
So Mortuga had the newspaper on board with him.
Only this solitary page. That belonged to Magnus Mortuga, but I suppose it should pass along to Cynthia.
Cynthia doesn't get all of Mortuga's stuff just because she took over as captain, surely?
Of course not. However, I imagine at some point Cynthia may wish to unlock the captain's cabin.
She'd need a glass eyeball to do that?
Naturally. While it holds the pretense of being an eyeball, in truth, it is a key. It's a fine garment, is it not?
Has it been in the control room the whole time?
From the moment I first entered the submarine.
But it doesn't belong to Mortuga.
It does not. You know, Magnus never liked the name Mortuga Submarine.
Surely he was the one who chose that name.
I believe it was something that just happened. He didn't have a willing hand in it. All told, Magnus was rather dismissive of the notion that the submarine should bear his moniker.
But it was his submarine.
He was dismissive of that notion, too.
Has the wheel always looked like that?
Like what?
With one side broken off and replaced with a different material.
It's never been my job to steer the ship, so I've never really taken any notice. Magnus was fairly averse to record keeping.
He can't have been that against it if he bothered to write in the captain's log.
However, standard protocol would be for the captain to keep a record of every single day, whereas Magnus only filed a handful of these log cards in his entire tenure. It rather seems that Cynthia is using the contract as a talisman.
A talisman? Like, as protection?
I did notice she taped it to the back of the chair in the control room, so it's like you can't go in there unless you acknowledge it.
Correct. The contract is a shield behind which Cynthia hides.
Now this is a talisman, surely.
On the surface, it appears so. However, in this instance, I think the concept has been inverted.
A reverse talisman.
The face from the ether. It must be.
What's that?
Tell me, where did you find this?
It was locked in a safe.
Was it now? Would you mind if I took it off your hands?
It's not ours to give.
No, of course. This seems to be a personal item of Cynthia's. As such, it is not my place to make a comment. This magazine emanates a peculiar energy. Jealousy, frustration, even greed. Why is it still encased in polypropylene?
Makes it more valuable to a collector. Surely you get it. You're a kind of collector, aren't you?
I collect only one-of-a-kind items, and only those with significant provenance.
Technically, this does have significant provenance, since it's owned by Dirk, and he's the actor who plays the character.
Oh, yeah.
I have no interest in such a device. It is merely the debris of an exoteric society. It holds no energy.
Sure it does. It says right there. Battery, 23%.
The keys on this typewriter, they appear to be a set of arcane runes. Has Mr. Werman been dipping his toe in the black arts? That's odd. This doesn't look like Magnus's handwriting at all.
It's not written by Mortuga. It's from a guy named Ibis.
I saw the diagrams pertaining to the location of the Mortuga submarine, and I assumed Magnus must have written it, for who else would know such things? I stayed at the Stone Top Inn myself. Back then it was under the care of a woman named Felicia, but it seems to have passed on to Magnus sometime later. I find this strange, for he was not a member of a Stone Top family.
It's a weird glass box.
It is the Hex bottle.
Yeah, I knew that. The cabinet's full of scrolls, but,
Can't think of an excuse not to read them.
they're too fragile, maybe?
Hell, just say they're blank. No one will know.
What's on those wall charts?
Sacred geometry.
Is that a heavy metal band?
I mean, probably. It's a weird crystal orb,
It is the Fog Ball.
if you say so. I can't see anything important on these shelves.
Good, because I couldn't reach the stuff at the top if I wanted to. The cabinet's full of scrolls.
Can't think
They're
of it.
too...
Hell, just say they're blank.
Good, because It's a weird metal helmet.
It is the Dream Helmet.
Of course it is. Tired?
I worry if I slept in that thing, I'd get transformed into a monster or something.
I worry that sleeping at a 45-degree angle would be bad for my back.
You are old. A set of small glass bottles.
Poison?
Might just be perfume.
I'll meet you in the middle at poisoned perfume.
That was right.
I'm impressed.
Is anything going to happen?
The glass moved.
Let's take a closer look at that bookshelf.
I think I can see a face in there.
That's probably just pareidolia.
Who?
The human habit of seeing faces where there aren't... Okay, no, I just saw it too. This one's not really a book.
Looks more like a magazine. It is Speaking, If You Are Listening, by Carl Cavendish.
Divine Exolinguistics by Mary Morala. The Seven Secrets of
Onirology?
The Seven Secrets of Onirology by Edward Edmonton.
Prophecy from Parapsychology by Halcyon Hardwick. A Ghost Rises Before Me by Joseph Jenkins.
The Magician of the Soul by Annabel August.
A Dusty Old Cloth. It's Zephyr's Bookshelf. Big glass bell jars with creepy things inside.
If I had a penny for every time we go somewhere and there's big glass bell jars with creepy things inside.
I'll just take a look in this cabinet.
Watch out for spiders.
Yeah, I don't think there are any spiders. We're on a submarine, remember?
I do seem to need constant reminding. I can't see.
Good. Because What's on those wall charts?
Sacred geometry.
Is that a heavy metal band?
I mean, probably.
It's a big dome.
All the light coming from the top gets filtered through the pink glass. It gives the whole room a really weird vibe.
A dream chamber?
Looks more like an apothecary.
A what?
An old-timey potion shop.
Thank you. Okay, I'll bite. What's a hex bottle?
It is a glass container with a hex inside.
A hex like a magic spell?
I've been forthcoming thus far, unusually so for a man of my nature. However, certain things I shall be keeping to myself, especially if it has no bearing on your investigation.
What if we can prove it's got something to do with the murder? or the crime scene.
Ah, well then you'd have forced my hand, wouldn't you?
Where do you get this from?
It is on loan from Miss Silkmoth.
So it's for some kind of magic trick.
I thought it was a crystal ball, like a fortune teller would use.
Indeed, it is a divining orb of a sort. However, I am not using it to see into the future, for such a pursuit is not but folly and nonsense.
Right, but I'm sure whatever you're using it for is totally rational and sensible.
Do not question the orb.
I'm always telling him that.
How come the goggles are blacked out?
It is a weighted sleeping mask.
To induce REM sleep?
Correct.
What's REM sleep?
That's the kind of sleep where you dream.
Aha. So what's the big funnel on top?
It is an energy filter.
So it filters the dreams as they come out of your head?
The opposite.
It filters the dreams on their way into your head?
Correct.
Oh yeah, dreams are transmissions from another dimension. I forgot.
But what's the point of filtering them? What does it do?
To study the transmission, it is first necessary to change the format of the energy signature.
Oh, like when you change a WAV to an MP3.
This is a syntax with which I am not familiar.
What is this anyway?
It is what it says it is, a quarterly journal of listings and inquiries.
I noticed the prices are listed as ounces, and that's gold, I'm pretty sure.
These numbers are merely a way to ascribe a universal value. Most transactions take the form of a trade, exchanging items of equivalent worth.
Oh, wait, so are these things that people have and they want to sell? Or is it stuff people want to buy?
Both.
What about that last one? The mermaid's tongue.
Likely the most contentious item ever to be listed in the journal. Desperately coveted by those who believe, and disdained by those who don't.
Those who believe what?
That such a thing could even exist.
I can barely move these barrels. Oh, they must be full of something heavy.
Actually, I think they're empty.
Oh, well, wood is heavy. A pinboard?
I assume it belongs to that woman over there.
Right. We'd better talk to her first. It's a pizza oven.
No, it's a furnace. For heating the submarine.
Right. But you could put a pizza in there. I assumed it was tea, but actually it smells like coffee.
It's unfiltered too, and there's no milk.
Hardcore.
It's a little mirror.
It could do with a polish.
You could do with the polish. That's a fire hazard. This whole room is a fire hazard.
A submarine can't burn down. It's underwater. It's a tent.
It's a piece of fabric draped over a rope.
Yeah, a tent.
Hold on there, bucko. That's private, all right?
I enjoyed that she called you Bucko. This is actually a pretty good place to hang laundry.
Assuming you want your clothes to smell like the cargo hold of a submarine.
It's a big traveler's backpack. It smells like soil and grass.
When you're done smelling it, there's something in the pouch I think we should take a look at.
What's in these old wooden crates?
I don't know. I can't get them open.
What did I tell you? Always bring the crowbar. What's in these old wooden crates?
I don't
What did
know.
I tell you? Always bring the cargo. It's the cargo hold.
It's made entirely out of wood.
And?
And we're in a submarine, aren't we?
Weary travellers. Take a seat by the fire, shake out your boots.
We're not weary travelers.
Then why do you both look so haggard and trail-worn?
Ouch. There goes my self-esteem for the rest of the day.
We're detectives. I'm Grimoire, and this is Sally. We're here investigating the murder of Magnus Mortuga, your previous captain.
My captain? Never. My captain is the moonlight as it shimmers across the lake. My captain is the wind as it whispers through the valley.
Who is this woman?
No idea. I kind of like her, though.
My name is Moon. Mariana Moon.
Aha. And what do you do?
I do not do. I simply am.
So, what, you're just some random traveler?
A traveller, yes, but random, never. I'm here because I chose to be. I've been searching for the Mortuga submarine for some time, you know.
How come?
How come? This thing is the motherlode.
The motherlode of what?
Of whispered half-truth, of murky rumour, of stories unspoken.
Oh, like urban myths and stuff?
Right. Urban myths and stuff.
So you're a historian.
Historian, storyteller, rambler, ambler, fireside gambler.
How long have you been here?
Well, let's see. I arrived a few hours before the captain was murdered.
Oh, dang. Really?
Quite the story, isn't it?
But you're just on the submarine because you find it interesting.
Would that be such a crime?
No. Murder's a crime, though, I'm pretty sure.
A merciless wind rattles the rotting wood of the old silkworm harbour. The shadow of a vessel lurking low in the night-black water. A mysterious stranger steps onto her foredeck. Cloaked in darkness, she slips inside the submarine. Who is she? What is her dark purpose?
It's you. We get it.
A mysterious stranger, I said. She descends into an ornate parlour, empty, save for a lone figure standing by the fire.
So, not empty.
He turns, his face still half hidden in flickering shadow. It is Captain Magnus Mortuga.
What was he like?
Nice guy. Stoic, but polite. Kind. He tells me to wait in the control room and then disappears off towards the back of the ship. After a little while, he comes back. But now, he's a slightly different man.
What do you mean?
The light is gone from his eyes. He seems sad, angry. He avoids my gaze as he crosses the room to take hold of the wheel. He tells me to head down the ladder towards the mess hall. Doing so, I encounter two gentlemen named Mr. Werman and Mr. Grip. Neither of them look like sailors, so I know they can't be crew. I assume they must be guests like me. And true enough, it transpires that Mr. Werman is a writer and Mr. Grip is, some kind of watch repairman. Captain Mortuga reappears, descending the ladder. He asks the two men to show me around the submarine and introduce me to the others. Then he disappears through the rear corridor. It's the last time I see him alive. Mr. Werman apologizes, explains he's too tired, and leaves through the opposite corridor. Mr. Grip, unable to come up with such an excuse, agrees to show me around. Now, I wrote this down in my diary, so I may as well let you read it. Imagine my excitement to finally get a good look around the Mortuga submarine. I was even given a tour by one of Mortuga's subordinates, a Mr. Godric Grip. We began by visiting a bizarre laboratory known as the Dream Chamber. It smelled of dried herbs and dusty glass, but was devoid of its dream custodian.
An early disappointment. The captain's cabin was locked. Mr. Grip explained how Captain Mortuga mostly keeps this room locked when it's not in use. We climbed down into the living quarters, where a pair of bunk rooms sat at the end of a corridor. The first smelled of crane dust and unwatered flowers. A young woman was laying in her bed, poring over an old document. She hastily hid the document away and introduced herself as Miss Cynthia Seafoam, a name to remember, dear reader, as she will shortly become quite important. The second bunk room smelled of aftershave and desperation. The two men within, Mr. James Werman and Mr. Dirk Dansom, both appeared to be asleep, so we decided not to intrude. Next on the tour, a room inhabited, by the looks of things, by a young child who is also a stage magician. Sadly, this mythical child magician is nowhere to be seen. The room at the very end of the hallway was sealed with a heavy bulkhead door. Mr. Grip dismissed it as a storeroom that only Captain Mortuga makes use of. Perhaps you'll agree with me, dear reader, when I suggest the peculiarity of a simple storeroom being sealed off with such a significant door. Mr. Grip took me down to the cargo hold. It smells of damp wood and tarred rope. Yes, I describe it in the present tense, for it is here I sit as I write this very diary. Next door, the engine room, burnished bronze and tea-stained parchment. I learned that it's something of a nest for Mr. Grip himself, and thus was currently unoccupied. Outside, I encountered a Dr. Zacharias Zephyr, the aforementioned keeper of the dream chamber. Surprised to see us, he nearly dropped the empty glass bottle he was carrying. Clearly wishing to remove himself from the situation, the good doctor muttered something inaudible and disappeared. We continued on into the next room, which I was amused to discover was some kind of shimmering mermaid grotto. I smelled her before I saw her, the unmistakable mix of salt, seaweed, and sequined spandex. It can only be Madame Tadpole, a name which may be familiar to long-time readers of this diary. Tadpole and I caught up while Mr. Grip skulked in the doorway, clearly hoping this would mark the end of the tour, but it did not, dear reader. It did not.
Right, so, yes, I can see there's one more room to visit. Mr. Grip insists it's just the bilge, a dark, dank and smelly place, ill-frequented by humankind. I tell him he couldn't have sold it to me better if he'd tried. We enter the bilge, but it's too dark to see anything. Mr. Grip, who is clearly tiring of my company by this point, opens the vent in the ceiling to let in a little light. Moments later, a voice is heard, echoing down from above.
Whose voice?
A young woman, and then an older woman. I can't remember exactly what was said, but I remember thinking it sounded a little like poetry.
What happened next?
The sound of a scream, and then a dull thud.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like a murder.
But which murder?
Anyway, by this point I've used up all my patience, so I decide to take my leave. I thank Mr. Grip for the tour and return to my new lodgings in the cargo hold. I have to put up my tent twice, as on the first attempt a sudden movement of the submarine undoes my progress. After some time, Mr. Grip and the young Miss Seafoam appear in my doorway. It seems they've come to fetch me for some kind of official submarine business. We head back towards the mess hall, Mr. Grip and Miss Seafoam heading up the ladder before me. I spot Dr. Zephyr emerging from the airlock. He has a glass bottle in one hand and what looks like an old leather bag in the other. I update him with what little information I have and attempt to catch up with the others. Laying on the floor is the body of Captain Magnus Mortuga. Amongst the living, mutterings are breaking out. Murder and mutiny, cauldrons and curses. But with Zephyr finally in attendance, Tadpole calls for order, demanding justice for her slain captain. But nobody really seems to know what to say. The next morning, it's announced that Miss Seafoam has taken over as captain. And, well, here we are. I saw Dirk wandering the halls this morning, like he was looking for something. I asked him what it was he'd lost, and he said he couldn't really describe it, but it looked a bit like a gun.
What?
So, something that looks like a gun, but isn't actually a gun.
I can't imagine what he was talking about. I didn't expect to find a fellow herbologist on board. Dr. Zephyr really knows his rosehip from his rosemary. He's a chemist, too. Impressive, don't you think?
I don't know. I get the sense his work is more alchemy than chemistry.
He does seem rather secretive about it. I tried asking him about his experiments, but he seemed awfully reluctant to divulge any details.
Sounds familiar?
Worman? I know he once worked as a newspaper journalist. Oh, that's before he changed his name, of course.
Have you read his book, Hex of the Helmsman?
I leafed through it. I must say he's got some good research skills. I'd love to know what his sources were.
What do you mean?
The book is very clearly a loose retelling of the real-life story of one Magnus Mortuga. Broad shoulders, long arms, good for reaching across a wheel. He had a hard face, but soft eyes. I'd wager he was once a very handsome man.
Do you know anything about his life before the submarine? Like if he had a family?
I'd never heard mention of his parentage, no.
But he lived in Silkworm. Do you know where exactly?
The only record I found lists him as living at the Stonetop Inn and working on board the Stonetop family sailing ship.
As the captain?
As a deckhand, and eventually as the helmsman.
So how'd he end up as the captain of a submarine?
All I could dig up was a rumour that he bought the submarine from the shipyard.
He bought it?
Or maybe he commissioned to have it built. Accounts vary on that.
Either way, how could Mortuga afford to buy a submarine?
My guess is that he didn't pay with money, but made some other kind of trade. Cynthia Seafoam, the daughter of Harbour Master Sylvia Seafoam, and the stepdaughter of Donovan Drummond, the shipyard owner.
That's a pretty solid nautical heritage.
By all accounts, Sylvia Seafoam was an ambitious and outgoing sailor, but I believe they raised Cynthia to be a mechanic.
Still, sounds like Cynthia actually does have the expertise to be captain.
Who said she doesn't?
So, Mariana, where are you from?
No fixed address. That's the way it's been for some time.
Oh, I see.
But you came to Silkworm looking for the Mortuga submarine. How come?
I go wherever I please, which usually amounts to wherever has the most interesting rumours.
I don't want to be rude, but do you ever have to do work to get money?
From time to time. I've taken up work as a tour guide, a historian, a performing storyteller.
But how did you wind up getting onto the submarine? Isn't it a secret?
Well, if it's such a secret, how did you do it?
I got a phone call from Cynthia Seafoam, and she told us to come to Silkworm.
And then the submarine came up to the harbor so we could get on.
Well, there we are. Perhaps that's how I did it, too. Symmetry was the only person I didn't see on my tour of the submarine. I realized later that she'd been with Mortuga at the time.
In the Illusion Theater?
You know what's funny? Nobody else calls it that. They all just call it the storeroom. I'm led to believe Illusion Theatre is a name Miss Silkmoth came up with herself. Rather like how she came up with the name Symmetry Silkmoth.
That's not her real name?
It's not her birth name, no. I see Cynthia's proudly wielding the Seafoam S in her signature there.
Why shouldn't she?
Of course, she's well within her rights to do so. but I do think perhaps it sends a certain message.
What message would that be?
I claim this submarine in the name of the Seafoam family. Something like that, don't you think? Pass it here, I'll show you something amusing. See this photograph on the inside cover?
It's a picture of Worman, isn't it?
If it is, it's a very flattering one.
It's not Worman at all. It's his rather more handsome father, Mayor Damien Dusk.
Get out. Really?
No word of a lie. I believe Mortuga used its light to alert others to the location of the submarine, on the rare occasions when he wished to do such a thing, of course.
That's how it happened with us. Although I guess it was Cynthia, not Mortuga.
You know, for some time now, I've heard stories of sailors seeing a green light in the ocean at night.
Well, I guess you have your explanation.
The problem is, several of the stories predate the Mortuga submarine. Now we're getting to it. The reason all of us are here, really.
How so?
The Silver Snake, the Mortuga submarine. Did you ever stop and wonder, why here? Why this particular part of the coast? It all stems from a single truth. There's something hiding in the water. Something big. Now, it wasn't my intent to cause you any lasting unease. Look, we three, we're merely tourists here, passers-by. Take my advice. Keep your distance from all this, so you can still walk away at the end.
Mariana, can you tell us what these tablets are?
It's rather more difficult when it's something synthetic like this. Some kind of vitamin supplement, I believe.
All three of them?
Yes, the 3 tablets seem largely to be the same thing. It's a piece of an old sail, roughly cut into a square.
Do you recognize this, Mariana?
Should I?
Well, we just figured since there's a moon drawn on the label.
So because my name is Moon, all moon-related things must belong to me,
Even if it's not yours, do you have any idea what it is?
It's a herbal compound of some kind. Valerian, skullcap, chamomile, and seawater.
So, not poison.
Maybe it's medicine. Would those herbs do anything in particular?
I suppose it could be a sleep aid, like a mild sedative.
Interesting.
Mariana, you visited Silkworm before, didn't you? Was Sim's magic show in the theater back then?
No, when I passed through, the theatre wasn't showing anything. This very poster was up on the walls, but they'd covered it with a banner that said cancelled.
So that must have been after Sim left. But before the theater had booked a new act.
This marks a pivotal moment in Silkworm's history, the day the Silver Snake was discovered. It also shows the 2 women who found it, Felicia Stonetop, that's her on the left, and Sylvia Seafoam on the right.
Hang on, we saw a statue about this in the town square, but on the statue, the serpent was shown being wrestled by a male fisherman.
Yes, well, that's history for you. It carries something of the cadaver about it. Might be the smell, rust and stagnant seawater. Perhaps it came from the ocean. Have you asked Madame Tadpole about it? Emblazoned with the Seafoam S, I see. It's quite an elaborate... Oh, how strange. It's never been worn.
Never?
Once or twice, at the very most. I'd love to know where Cynthia got the diagram of the wooden ship.
I thought it was supposed to be a submarine.
Oh, no, the yellowish parts. They're from an old drawing of a sailing ship. Looks like it might be from the original, too. I just wonder where she got it. Let's see. The thicker wood is mahogany, very old mahogany. The thinner wood, oh, I don't know, some kind of cheap timber, perhaps.
Somebody skimped on the repairs, huh?
I'd heard Mortuga wasn't one for writing things down, so I'd given up hope of finding a diary, but this might be the next best thing.
He made a record of every time a new person joined the submarine.
Except for when you joined, Mariana.
Well, I suppose he'd never had the chance. You know, one of the reasons I found it hard to research Mortuga was that there really wasn't much of a paper trail.
Well, seems like he changed his ways.
Yes, it's rather odd, isn't it? I wonder what compelled him to draw up a contract like this. I can't help but feel like the idea must have come from someone else. Looks like gold to me.
No way. Real gold.
Why not?
I thought Symmetry was supposed to be an impoverished orphan.
Well, it's not worth anything unless she's willing to sell it. Well, that has to be a face, but it's not. It doesn't look like anyone. When was this taken?
Pretty recently, I think.
I see. So she's probably still out there. Listen, don't worry about it, seriously. Oh, good. I was worried this wasn't going to come up.
What? Cynthia and her family?
The submarine in the background?
Yes and yes. But also no. The best part of this photo is the thing on the left-hand side. It's in a glass tank. Do you see it?
Barely.
Is it a snake?
It's the silver snake, also known as the silkworm serpent. Oh, you've heard of it?
We might have. But what's it doing in the photo?
So, that submarine in the background. The silver snake is the reason that was built. Sylvia Seafoam, pictured there in the fancy jacket, she was quite fond of her serpent friend, you see, but the powers that be were demanding she hand it over to be studied. So Sylvia made a plan to go and live in a submarine and take the silver snake with her.
That's, quite ambitious.
Wait, so the sea serpent would also be living in the submarine?
Well, I don't have all the details. It's something I'm still researching. Where'd you get that? A dentist's waiting room?
There's a poster on the back cover. It's for Dirk's movie.
Oh, yes, look at that. Oh, they've given her the wrong type of necklace. The sword looks about right, though.
What's that?
Just thinking out loud. Oh, sorry, Belisha Bonetop.
Yeah, that's what she's called in the book, too. Marcus Mordoom's captain/love interest.
Flying a little close to the sun with that name, aren't they? ZX5. Nice piece of kit. Polycarbonate shell, tactile interface, unusually good battery life. I mean, it's a cell phone. Whose is it?
Dirk Danson.
I suppose that makes the most sense. After all, Mortuga really didn't seem like the cell phone type. Mr. Werman's typewriter. It's got a good example of the fellow emblem there on the back, see? These diagrams, they're detailing the time and place to find the Mortuga submarine. Of course, it would be possible just to write it out in words, but this has been done with astronomy and lunar phases.
Why?
My guess is that it's intended to incite curiosity in the recipient. It's more effective than if they'd just written, "Come to this place at this time." It feels less like a trap this way. Mr. Werman's typewriter. It's got a good example of the fellow emblem there on the back, see? Where on earth did you find this?
Cynthia had it.
I don't know. You two have all the luck. I spent a year researching silkworm and never found anything this good.
What's so good about it?
It's penned by Solomon Stonetop himself. They say he built the Stonetop Inn with his own hands, and in doing so, he founded the town of Silkworm-on-Sea. I can't speak to what that is squirming around in the bottle there, but the liquid is salt water with a mix of herbs. I suppose Zephyr must have a pestle and mortar. I might ask to borrow it.
Which herbs?
valerian, skullcap, and chamomile.
Do you recognize this, Mariana?
Should I?
Well,
so because my name is...
Even if it's not yours.
so
Maybe it's medicine.
interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, this little part at the front is actually a microphone.
Mariana, I was wondering if you could tell us who's worn this.
How's she supposed to do that?
You know, by the smell.
Oh, gross.
Very well. Let's see. I'm getting wind-battered mahogany, ice-cold sea spray, and mostly melted candle wax.
Great, thanks.
Now, where did you find this?
Zephyr had it.
Did he now? Lillian's locket, silver snake, golden palm, mermaid... The mermaid's tongue.
You've heard of it?
Only the name, and only when people were telling me it doesn't exist.
Maybe it doesn't.
But there's a photo.
It's a photo of a drawing.
What's it supposed to do, anyway? The description in the book here is pretty vague.
And they say it allows humans to commune directly with God while they're still alive.
What? God?
In here it says, said to facilitate communication with she who lies beyond the veil.
She who lies beyond the veil, God, other dimensions, aliens, the afterlife. You know, it varies. But the sentiment is the same. Though it's a wretched thing, really. An echo of man's desperate, futile desire to wring answers from a silent universe.
I can see why people would say it doesn't exist.
But Zephyr's trying to get hold of it.
Well, he may be. It depends.
On what?
The strength of his will. I see you've been enjoying my map.
It's barely a map. It's closer to a list.
What about the family tree on the back?
Most of my research into silkworm has been focused on these two family lines, the Fellows and the Stone Tops.
Seems like you haven't worked out how Mortuga fits into it. His name is just floating out there by itself.
I'm not sure if he does fit into it, to be honest.
Mariana, you've got a question mark there. Someone you don't know the name of.
Ah, yes. Quite the mystery, you see. I'd heard about...
We know her name. It's Freya. You're welcome. It's a pinboard. We'll come back later.
Hello? Is anyone there?
I think there's someone in that basket.
A selection of some of my more unusual compasses. Please peruse at your leisure.
Nope.
So there's 4 slots, and each one needs a compass to go in it. The labels are all describing a particular compass, I guess.
I guess that's wrong.
I think we can pay attention to the needles while you're...
Nothing.
It's really all about
At least one of them doesn't seem to be a compass. Nothing.
It's really all about the
At least one of them doesn't seem to be a compass. Go.
Nice.
Did something unlock?
Nope.
Yeah, it did. I heard it. Sounded like a box opening.
Pure conjecture.
We already solved it.
It's open.
What is that? Some kind of scroll?
That is not for sale. Please don't touch it.
Too late. Sorry.
Who are these guys?
Just some of my satisfied customers.
It's a big compass. Noisy, dangerous, confusing. Yep, it's an engine room.
I thought you were talking about me. Is that the balloon part of a hot air balloon?
I think so. And it's branded with a logo. Mr. Grip's Emporium.
It's a basket for a hot air balloon.
Do you think there's anything in there?
I can see what's in there. It's a human man.
Right. Let's talk to him first. What on earth are you doing?
Ah, customers. Come in, and welcome to Mr. Grip's Emporium.
Wait, what?
I guess he's Mr. Grip.
What's that? You'd like a succinct yet exhaustive rundown of our operational philosophy?
I don't think I said that.
Here at Mr. Grip's, we plot the unplottable, chart the unchartable, and measure the unmeasurable. No sea too vast, no night too dark, no fog too thick. With the right contraption in your pocket, even the great unknown may be quantified and calculated. So fret not, noble navigator, as we stock all the essentials.
Grimmore, you don't have any money?
I don't have any gold coins, no.
I'm sorry, you can't afford this item.
I don't want it.
I'm afraid you don't have enough money.
I know. I'm not trying to buy anything.
Apologies, you can't afford that one.
Ugh.
Mr. Grip, we're not customers. We're detectives. We need to talk to you.
Why didn't you say so? Now, what is it you wanted to know?
Can I get your full name?
Godric Grip of Mr. Grip's Emporium.
And that's this little shop you run down here in the engine room, for some reason.
This is merely the newest branch. The flagship site is back in Circuum-on-Sea.
Yeah, we saw it. It's all boarded up.
Yes, well, I can't make a living selling compasses to the ghosts in a ghost town, can I?
So that's what you do? Sell compasses? Seems kinda niche.
We buy, sell, and service all manner of nautical navigation equipment. What's that? Ah, yes, we also provide cartographic consultation. We'll analyze and decipher any map, all for a low, low fee. Some maps may be invalid. Fee to be decided on a case-by-case basis.
Sorry, did you just talk to your stick?
You mean Cornelius Kane?
And he's given it a name. Great.
Don't ask any follow-up questions. Maybe he'll let us move on. How'd you wind up here?
I crashed my hot air balloon into the ocean. Whole thing came down. Dreadful. And, of course, I've never been a swimmer, don't have the upper body strength.
How'd you crash your balloon?
A rather spirited disagreement with a flock of migratory pelicans led to an abrupt
Sure, okay. And the actual reason?
storm.
There we go.
Wait, so you're an aeronaut? I thought you were a shopkeeper.
Yes, well, you're quite right, of course. But I'd been inspired to leave my shop behind and head out on a journey of discovery into the great unknown. That was the plan, at least. As you can see, I didn't make it very far at all.
So there's a storm, the balloon crashes, you fall into the ocean, then what?
Enter Captain Mortuga. He finds me adrift, fishes me out of the water, and promptly places me here.
In the engine room? Was every other room taken?
On the contrary, only Mortuga and Zephyr were living here when I arrived, so I rather had the run of the place. Cornelius and I just agreed this would be the best place to set up shop, as it were.
Why did you set up your shop again? You just said you'd been inspired to leave it behind.
I had to make myself useful somehow, didn't I? Let's see. I'd taken Cornelius up to the mess hall. Poor fellow needed a little repair work, you see.
Were you alone up there? Aside from Cornelius, I mean.
No, Werman was there, working away on his typewriter. Then, all of a sudden, somebody new came down the ladder. A woman by the name of Mariana Moon. Werman and I conversed with her for a few minutes before Mortuga himself entered the room. He passed through towards the child's room and the storeroom, but before he left, he asked us to provide Mariana with a tour of the submarine. Werman feigned a sudden fatigue and slithered off back to his room, leaving me as the solitary tour guide.
You do kinda look like a tour guide, to be honest.
Yes, well, I won't bore you with a blow-by-blow. I'm sure Mariana will cover that in her statement. Suffice it to say, we ended up in the bilge at the very back of the submarine. And there we were, standing in the dark, when all of a sudden, a voice echoed down from above.
Mortuga's voice?
No, a young woman's, possibly two different women. The voices were followed by the sound of a blade, and finally a dull thud, like something hitting the ground.
Sounds like a murder to me.
What did Mariana make of all this?
Well, apparently satisfied by our impromptu eavesdropping session, she made her farewells and left.
You didn't go with her?
No, I stayed a little longer.
Did you hear any other weird noises?
I did. First, the sound of the storeroom door wrenching open and then closing again. Secondly, some kind of short, heavy scrape, mechanical. And finally, a dull thud, like something hitting the ground.
Sorry, again?
How many murders were there?
I didn't really know what to do with myself after that, but an unexpected lurch of the submarine caused me to very nearly topple over into the bilge water. So I decided to take my leave and return to the safety of my engine room.
You didn't want to go upstairs and see what was going on?
I certainly thought about it. Ultimately, I think it came down to cowardice on my part.
You didn't want to run into the murderer.
So, let's see. I was sat there, feeling rather pathetic, when Cynthia appeared in my doorway.
What did she want?
Well, she had a compass she wanted me to fix. I agreed to take a look at it for her. But that wasn't the end of it. She then told me she'd been asked to bring me upstairs, along with everyone else. And so, after fetching Mariana from next door, the three of us went up to the storeroom. I saw Mortuga's body laying on the floor, saw the cut across his neck. The cowardice I'd felt before compounded. Tadpole spoke to the room. She wanted a confession, or even just an explanation. It goes without saying that nobody was willing to offer one. Really, that's the end of it. After that, several things happened very quickly. Cynthia became captain, decided to bring in a detective. You two arrived, and here we are. I noticed Dirk seems to be trying to tell Werman what to write in his book.
Is he just trying to make sure Worman gets it done? Or is he trying to get him to write it in a certain way?
A little of both, I'd wager.
Maybe he's in league with Worman's publisher.
Dirk? That can't be right. If I recall correctly, he told me he worked for something called, oh yes, thank you, Cornelius. Wit and Whimsy, that was it. But I'm not sure what
It's a movie production company. It's owned by Vincent Van de Peer. He's a director and producer.
Well, someone's well informed.
Vincent once went location scouting in the swamp where I worked as a gift shop sales clerk.
Ah, of course.
What'd you make of old Dr. Zephyr? Not a fan?
There's been some speculation that his experiments may be dangerous or even harmful. Although it's hard to be sure, since he seems so reluctant to admit what they actually are.
You don't even know? I would have thought, since you've both been here for a while.
Well, yes, Zacharias was one of the only 2 souls aboard the submarine when I arrived, but he never made me feel especially welcome, and he certainly wasn't keen on me poking around his dream chamber. In fact, he always seemed somewhat wary of me, like my arrival was going to scupper his plans in some way.
I guess Zephyr and Mortuga weren't expecting anyone else to show up.
I never got the details out of either of them, so I can't confirm this. But I believe Werman was invited onto the submarine by Mortuga himself.
Really? Why?
It's very strange. I can't for the life of me imagine why Mortuga would bring a journalist on board.
Worman's an author, not a journalist.
Well, he used to be a journalist. He wrote for the local newspaper. And I will say he doesn't seem to have lost the instinct to always be on the lookout for a story. He lived and worked in the inn opposite my emporium. I'd see him when I offered my custom at the inn, and in return, he'd come by my shop. As a sailor, Mortuga shared in my interest of nautical navigation. He even hired me for a job once.
Did he tell you he was planning to go live on a submarine?
I don't think he told anybody. After his disappearance, all I had was several largely unsatisfactory rumors. They said he disappeared into the sea, whatever that was supposed to mean. The first time I laid eyes on his eponymous submarine was when it rescued me from my fallen balloon. I can't tell you how surprised I was to see Magnus Mortuga step out into the foredeck, although he wasn't quite the same man I'd known before.
How do you mean?
The light in his eyes was dulled, like he wasn't really there.
And what had happened to him?
Well, I'd never found out, but perhaps the rumors were true after all. Perhaps he had disappeared into the sea. Before this thrilling little jaunt on the Mortuga submarine, I'd lived in Silkworm all my life. I worked for my father and eventually inherited his business. Godman Grip's nautical and aeronautical precision measurement and navigation instruments.
Snappy title.
I eventually trimmed the name down to just Mr. Grip's Emporium. That was around the same time I hired young Cornelius here as a much-needed second pair of hands.
He's a stick. He does not have hands.
Yes, running that business was my whole life for many years. Slow, sometimes tedious work, but I was extremely good at it. I especially relished in the task of deciphering and restoring old maps. The more decrepit they were, the more I enjoyed it.
And now you live in the engine room of a submarine. Must be a big change.
Yes and no. Young Cynthia seems quite convinced that she should be the new captain in the wake of Mortuga's death.
Sounds like you don't agree.
Well, now, I didn't say that. It's just...
You don't think she's up to the task?
On the contrary, from what I've seen, Cynthia is a remarkably bright and capable young woman. So much so that I bemoan seeing her spend her best years hidden away down here in the dark.
Oh, it doesn't have to be permanent. She could be captain for a little while and then go do something else.
You know, there was something I noticed while giving Mariana a tour of the submarine. Soon after we entered the bilge, she whipped out her tobacco pipe with a strange kind of urgency.
Did she smoke it?
Well, she put it in her mouth, but she didn't light it. What's that, Cornelius? You've never seen her light it? Well, now you mention it.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to smoke inside a submarine anyway.
Yes, and Mariana seems like such a stickler for health and safety regulations. I will say, in the last day or so, the symmetry does seem particularly somber.
Because of Mortuga's death?
Yes, the problem seems to be that she considers herself a kind of catalyst.
Does she? Why?
Well, I believe she'd been working on some new project, and shortly before Mortuga died, Symmetry shared this project with him.
And?
And then he dies. It's probably just bad timing.
What kind of project was it?
I really have no idea. What's that? Oh, yes. Cornelius tells me he saw Symmetry drawing something while in the mess hall. A poster, apparently? No bladed weapon of any kind was found in the room. Yes, I noticed that too.
The missing murder weapon. Classic.
Any idea where it might be, or what?
Not yet.
Let's see here. Nope. Doesn't say it anywhere. No based on, no inspired by.
Inspired by what?
True events. Then again, I suppose it is largely imaginary and mostly guesswork. I'd imagine that gets him off the hook. Wonderful, isn't it? Cornelius thinks it might be his great-grandmother. For all I know, he may be right.
It belonged to Mortuga, I assume?
Yes, and to me it sits right alongside that iron bell in his office and that stone cauldron in the storeroom. Together, they form Mortuga's collection of inexplicably cursed-looking nautical artifacts.
Maybe they do form a set.
Ah, yes. Can't really miss it, can you?
It's creeping me out, but I really want to know what it is.
I wouldn't lose sleep over it if I were you. Is that a sun?
Probably. Although it could be a wheel.
Oh, yes, wheel tablets.
This is from a ship's sail?
I think so.
Did you sell sails in your shop?
No, ship parts like that fell within the remit of the Drummond shipyard, a few doors down.
We think Mortuga might have dropped this when he was killed.
You can think that all you like. Personally, I think it came from somewhere else.
If it wasn't dropped by Mortuga, perhaps it was dropped by the culprit?
Might have been neither.
You're suggesting this bottle made its own way into the crime scene?
Maybe.
So what's the deal with this cauldron?
I've no idea.
Really? I figured you've been here a while. Surely Mortuga would have mentioned it?
He never did. Seems like he was keeping it secret.
From who?
From everyone.
Why would it need to be a secret?
Maybe he just wanted it all for himself. Yeah, whatever was in there, I mean.
It wasn't really Mortuga's modus operandi to be selfish like that. Quite honestly, it's more likely to be the exact opposite.
What, so keeping it secret was him being selfless, somehow?
Like if it was dangerous. He kept it hidden as a way of keeping you all safe.
Cornelius tells me he spotted Miss Silkmoth drawing this while she was in the mess hall.
What's it a drawing of, exactly?
Let's have a look, shall we? That's Symmetry, I assume. And she's sitting on the cauldron, facing a window.
Godric Grip's nautical and aeronautical precision measurement and navigation instruments. Great name.
As well, this was shortly before the rebrand.
Why'd you decide to rebrand the shop?
You see, the news about the Silkworm Serpent put the town in a particular sort of mood. Interest in all things nautical adventure was on the rise, you know. They put up that statue, we get tourists even.
So you capitalized on the zeitgeist.
Look at you, using the vocabulary. Where on earth did you find this?
It was just lying around. Do you know what it is?
What I do know is that it belonged to Mortuga.
But you don't know what it was actually for.
I couldn't say with any academic certainty. Yes, this was clearly made by someone who understands the value of iconography.
You mean the S emblems?
The whole thing?
What's the deal with this blueprint? It's kind of a mess.
They say Mortuga bought an incomplete submarine and then paid for it to be completed. So it only makes sense that the blueprint's as ramshackle as the ship itself.
Where'd he buy it from?
How'd he pay for it?
One, the shipyard, I imagine. And two, I have no idea. He'd never seemed to have any money.
Do you know how the wheel got damaged?
It looks in working order to me.
No, look. Some of the spokes are different. It looks like they broke off and got replaced.
You're quite right. Although it's not exactly at odds with the ship as a whole, is it?
Meaning?
Look around you. She's a ramshackle old thing. Sturdy, yes, even handsome in places, but undeniably a patchwork of sorts. Mortuga's log. Let's find the entry about me, shall we? Here it is, right after Zephyr's. Godric Grip rescued from hot air balloon accident. To refer to it as an accident, a merciful gesture indeed. Two individuals in contention of the ownership, however, recent developments exposed. No, I don't like it.
No, what's wrong with it?
The wording, it's too vague. It could be about anything.
But if it's not about Cynthia and Mortuga, what would it be about?
I couldn't say, but I stand by it. There's a chance Cynthia's got the wrong end of the stick. She oughtn't be captain after all. Oh, sorry, Cornelius. He doesn't like it when I say wrong end of the stick. Bingo! Lillian's locket in the flesh!
And Lillian is... who?
By all accounts, some kind of sorceress.
How come you know about this?
Well, it's a brass trinket, and thus it's often placed within the jurisdiction of my expertise. Goodness me.
What's it a photo of?
Well, it's a face. I suppose we can agree on that.
Doesn't look like any face I've ever seen.
No, well, perhaps you ought to count yourself lucky. Oh, yes, I remember hearing about this. A submarine constructed by the harbour master and the shipyard mechanic, who I believe was her husband.
Where'd you hear about it?
Just gossip from around town. Are there really only two characters?
It's just a poster. I'm sure there are more in the actual film.
If it sticks to the novel, there actually might only be two characters.
That's the captain, is it? And her accessories are a compass and a map.
So?
So they made her the navigator and the captain. Typical navigator erasure. I don't really deal in anything post-industrial revolution. Try Cynthia.
Oh?
Teenage girl, cell phone. Just seems like a natural fit, wouldn't you say? Werman's still attempting to wrestle his grand opus into existence, is he? I rather thought he'd be done by now. Inked on the back of this letter are code next detailing how and when and where to find the Mortuga submarine. This Ibis person claiming to have information on Mortuga.
You know who that is?
No, Mortuga never mentioned anyone by that name. Not to me, anyway.
Rip, what do you know about this document?
Ah, yes. I believe it belongs to Cynthia, and she gave it to Mortuga shortly after she first arrived. There's some kind of pattern. It almost looks pictorial.
Does it mean something?
It might do. I imagine poor old Zephyr's been trying his best to figure it out. Aha! A crystal ball! Oh, how quaint. What's that? What's it for? Oh, you know, the usual. Whispering questions into the great unseen beyond, hoping without hope to get a response.
Do you know if Zephyr made this himself?
He must have done. He didn't have it when I first got here. In fact, I'm pretty sure he measured Mortuga's head to get the shape right. Good heavens.
Something catch your eye?
Rumored to be lost at sea requires a special key. Is that right?
The mermaid's tongue? Do you know anything about it?
No, can't say I do. Based on this, I wonder if it may not even be real. After all, there isn't even a photograph. That's just a drawing. Remarkable! There we are! goody list. Look, I told you all our hard work would put us on the map someday.
How come your logo is a hot air balloon? I thought you sold stuff for boats.
Officially, we deal in the nautical and aeronautical. But in truth, the balloon motif was mostly just for fun. I'm not sure there were ever any aeronauts in Silkworm.
How much for this one?
It's not for sale.
Well, too rare? Too valuable?
It's from my personal collection. I really hadn't intended for you to see it.
Well, we did see it.
What's it a map to, anyway? What's it the red X?
Now that's the question, isn't it?
You don't know?
Unfortunately, not.
What's with all the needles and cogs and stuff?
It looks like Grip's halfway through fixing it. That's what I figured, anyway.
Ah, thank heavens! That's what I was hoping for.
Sorry, what?
Perhaps I should explain. You see, Miss Seafoam came to me with a compass she needed fixing. I went to put the needle back on, but Cynthia stopped me. No, she said. The whole thing is broken. You'll have to take a look at the insides. You'll have to replace the needle. For some reason, she seemed to need it to be true.
She needed the compass to be broken.
I told her I had various spare needles I could try out as replacements, and here we are.
And you left it out so Cynthia would see it? So she'd think you were actually fixing it?
That's the idea, yes. So if you kindly put it back where you found it.
I wonder if Mariana would let us take a closer look at that pipe of hers.
It can't hurt to ask. You know, I think Sim's hiding something on the submarine. Something we haven't found yet.
A certain piece of equipment she uses in magic tricks.
That's the one. Problem is, we already searched the child's room and her bunk room.
Well, there's only one other place it would be.
You want to look at my pipe?
If you don't mind.
By all means.
Sally, despite what you may have read in popular detective fiction, this is no time to smoke a pipe.
I'm not gonna smoke it. I want to listen to it.
You... what?
It's a little tape player.
Come on, give it up. Just let me take it.
I'm sorry, Tanya. I cannot.
But why'd you even need...
I've told you before.
No, you haven't. All you've ever told me is that
I'd like to request that you return to your room. I have something I must attend to.
Hey, listen, why don't we just kill him? Now, that helps both of us. If he dies, we're both free, right? Come on, I know you don't have any better ideas.
The stargazing girl stares into the ink-black void. Upon her trembling lips, a question born. A forbidden query of what may be and what may not be. The void, unyielding to the girl's plight, stares back. It speaks.
Close your eyes, my love, and be still, for this is the end and the beginning.
As much as I love an old map, I wouldn't know where to start with his. I prefer maps that show some sort of land. Or, you know, some sort of anything. I never needed a compass. I prefer old-fashioned methods of navigation.
I'm pretty sure a compass is the old-fashioned method.
Not as old as the sun and stars, and unlike this compass, they never break and need repairing.
I'm not sure it is broken, actually.
What do you think of the pipe? Fine craftsmanship, wouldn't you say?
It's not a pipe at all. It's a secret dictaphone.
That's not a secret.
You're clearly recording people without their permission.
So?
So it's immoral.
Well, if you're going to kick up a fuss, I'll just take it back, shall I?
No, hang on. It might be useful.
Aha! I knew it. Tut at me all you like, but you can't deny the value of hard evidence.
That's it, Mariana's pipe. She let you see it?
She did.
And? Did you discover anything?
We did.
Well, all right then. End of conversation, apparently.
Greasy, rattling, spewing hot steam. Yep, it's an engine.
I thought you were talking about me. If I turn this wheel, you have to turn the other one.
Why?
Because one good turn deserves another. Grip, can we take a look in the basket?
Yes.
Will you be getting out of the basket?
No.
Okay, so you're not really an aeronaut, but you did own a hot air balloon for some reason?
For most of its life, it was just ornamental. We put it out the front of the shop as a billboard.
No wonder you crashed if you were trying to fly an ornamental billboard.
And then after you crashed it, you brought it inside the submarine?
You'd rather I just let it sink into the ocean? Besides, it's useful. Anytime I want to reread our company mantra, it's printed right there.
And anytime you wanted to check your opening times, they're right there.
Quite right.
Oh look, there you are, with the cane, as ever.
Of course, Mr. Grip always has Cornelius Kane by his side.
But why? What's the point?
I don't know what to tell you. It's just my shtick.
Oh my god.
So this is the Illusion Theater.
It's very small for a theater.
It's basically just the end of a corridor, separated from the rest of the corridor. This wooden panel, surely there's something behind it. Hello?
It's a little set of tiles.
The one.
Good job. It's unlocked.
Right. Let's get this thing open. There's a girl in there.
It's a doll. I hope.
So it's a life-size doll that looks like symmetry.
Well, yeah, but I think there's more to it than that.
Is that a camera?
No, I think it's a projector.
Close your eyes, my love, and be still, for this is the end and the beginning.
Sorry, why was there a projector hidden inside the doll?
Safekeeping? Hi there.
Both she and I have mothers lost, and both a token keep.
Unlike you, though, Cynthia's not wearing hers.
Cynthia's already got a cool jacket. One that actually fits her, too.
And stitched it I, at her request, with mine own hand.
Really? When did she make this request?
Some long while ago.
Before the murder, huh?
She tries her best to honor fate and call it by its newest name.
Cynthia?
I will admit, in quiet hours, the former name returns.
What's the former name?
Need you only glance beneath a single slip of paper? I tried it once.
Tried what?
To turn the wheel, to steer the ship.
Oh, how'd it go?
It did not. I was too weak. The numbers spoken by the ship, they falter, flailing weird and wild, as if she seeks to speak, yet lacks the tongue to voice her troubled thought.
Do you remember when Cynthia first got hold of this?
I saw her running from the bridge, all pages clasped in hand.
Where was she taking it?
In a hurried hurry haste, she was bedchamber bound.
Wait, all pages clasped in hand?
Yeah.
Both pages, surely.
But mere semantics, sir. A portrait of fair Cynthia's youth.
Sim? What's wrong?
Mine eye is drawn against my will to she that lingers far from frame.
The ship, in the background.
What about it?
A sorry, sorrowed tale has she, for never fully wrought. Left to rust in stillborn state, the dream forever gone undreamt.
This is Dirk's, I'm guessing.
You guess correct.
Kind of him to lend it to you.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's kind of precious to him.
Au contraire, he spoke of it with sulk and scorn. Glad was he to see it gone. An effigy of Dansome Dirk, or doth it bear the form of former falling captain?
Technically, neither.
Employed it be to speak with unseeable souls?
Assuming you can get signal.
Who'd have thought that Dansome Dirk, of all our kin, is playing host to hidden ghost?
It's so heavy. I can't imagine lugging this around everywhere.
Werman likes writing on it, I guess. And supposedly, that's the whole reason he's here? To write his next book?
I think it's just as likely to be the exact opposite. That he's here because he doesn't want to write that book, but is here to hide from it. Who penned this page?
We don't really know who they...
Is she not aboard the ship?
She?
What makes you think it's a woman?
The handwriting? That's girl's handwriting. 'Twas Cynthia who had it when first she came aboard. Something in it holds great weight, for her at least it seems.
But you don't know what exactly?
With certain mind I cannot say.
Hey, Sim, do you know anything about this?
Speaketh soft.
Okay?
Do you know anything about this?
Nay. Oh, my fog ball.
Your fog ball?
As carved and crafted.
You made it? What for?
Well, thou mayst use it to speak with Gregory.
Sorry, Gregory? We never met a Gregory.
You wouldn't have. He lives inside the ball.
Oh.
And he's my uncle.
Oh.
And he's dead.
Oh.
And fictitious.
Oh.
Do you know how Zephyr's dream helmet works?
His secrets are his own to keep.
Okay, but just for the record, you do know his secrets.
I am bound to share them not. Lillian's locket.
Looks familiar, don't you think?
I didn't know it had a name. Kindly close the book. I have no desire to look upon it longer.
Oh, sure. Here you go.
That face!
You know what it is?
Mine eye but chanced upon it. Nothing more. Against all odds, I've been inscribed upon this family tree, bound only by the bloodline of my matron's former kin.
Your matron? That's Fortuna Fellow.
No longer tied to fellow name, she styles herself as Baroness. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
Sim, look, you've got 2 half-brothers. Kinda.
Only in the faintest terms, but there they are, Flint and Felix.
We've actually met Felix. Would you believe that?
No.
Oh, well, we did.
A map that leadeth unto naught?
What do you mean? It leads to that big red X.
Yeah, but it's a big red X in the middle of the ocean.
It comes to mind I saw this map upon the captain's cabin desk.
When was this?
Soon after I arrived. Just once, and then it vanished.
Well, now it's reappeared.
Ta-da! The compass lies on deathbed dark, its many pointed bones askew. Hush! It now endures a surgeon's steady hand.
You'll pull through, little compass.
A tobacco pipe?
Yeah, sure.
No, it's not.
Oh, I know this game. One always tells the truth and the other always lies.
No, that's not what's happening.
Yes, it is.
Ah, there lies the picture of the cane, the perched upon by Little Hat.
I used to be perched upon by a little hat.
'Tis quaint indeed. But wait, is it of a one with that in current Godric's grasp?
We found your doll. She's not talking.
You didn't ask her anything.
All right, fine. What's up with the doll? Okay, now she's not talking.
Speaking of, Sim, can the doll talk? Like, does it have a little speaker inside?
She is ever silent. I speak for us both.
I just thought, there's a string on the back. I thought it was like a pull string.
It is a pull string.
Oh, then how does it work?
You pull it.
Is this yours?
No, not mine. Merely borrowed from Magnus Mortuga.
Mortuga owned a projector? What for? Projecting a film, I guess?
Not this film.
What did you want it for?
Projecting this film.
There's something suspicious about symmetry. Symmetry, you were in the Illusion Theater with Mortuga the evening before he died.
I concede! I am laid bare!
Anyway, there was some talk of Mortuga being killed by a curse. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Grimoire.
What? She's the resident curse expert.
It is entirely possible that the captain was set upon by a curse.
See? I knew she'd know about this.
Let's just stick to the facts, shall we? Sim, if you were in the Illusion Theater with Mortuga, what were you actually doing in there? A performance.
Like a magic act?
A foolish act. A callous indulgence through and through.
I don't understand. Did it go wrong?
I performed it perfectly.
Then what's the problem? She's gone quiet.
It's okay, we don't need to force it out of her. It's a poster for a magic act. Or a rough layout for a poster, anyway.
Oh, we found something else, too.
Sweet sister inanimate, I implore you, leave her be. Her hands are clean.
The doll was left behind by the murderer. On second thought, maybe not.
Sweet sister inanimate, I implore you, leave her be. Her hands are clean.
The doll is a prop used in magic tricks.
What kind of magic trick would need a life-size doll?
Any trick where you need a double, obviously.
This is the right clue, but let's be specific.
This is the right clue, but we want a specific aspect. Your magic act, Lady of the Looking Glass. I don't claim to know exactly how it works, but as far as I can tell, you put the doll behind some kind of special mirror, and it acts as an identical double.
Lady of the Looking Glass is a thing of the past. I am no longer able to perform it.
Because you don't have the special mirror.
You misunderstand. I shall never again perform this trick.
But why not?
Oh. Because Sim and her doll are no longer identical.
Sweet sister stays ever a fresh-faced child. No such fate is writ for me.
So you can't use the doll at all anymore?
The doll could be balanced on top of the cauldron if the trick was done in the dark. That's not right. The doll could still work as a double for symmetry if it was facing away from the audience.
Facing away? Oh, like the sketch on the poster.
Right.
I wonder why she needed a double, though. This isn't a mirror trick like before.
It would help if we knew more about the trick itself.
True. We don't even know what it's called.
The Stargazing Girl. Says it right there.
Besmirched by my own penmanship. Truly the folly of man.
Why would the title be written on the sailcloth?
I'm pretty sure she used it during the magic act. She wore it as a cloak.
Wait, really?
You know what? Let's try that again.
Why would the title be written on the sailcloth?
I'm pretty sure she used it during the magic act. She hung it up to use as a curtain.
You sure about that?
No, not really.
Why would the title be...
I'm pretty sure she used it during the magic act. She draped it over the cauldron.
It's not like that in the original sketch. See, in the drawing, the cauldron's uncovered.
Mortuga asked her to keep the cauldron covered up.
Before the captain assented to me using that room, he'd been using it for storage. When I was first let inside, the sailcloth was indeed draped over the cauldron. I hadn't realized he did not wish me to remove it. When he saw my design for the poster, he had but one request. Symmetry. All I ask is that you keep the sailcloth on the cauldron.
And given that you had to keep it, you made use of it as a kind of banner.
So what's the stargazing girl about? What happens in it?
I do not wish to speak on it.
No? Well, we actually know quite a bit about it already.
Stargazing girl stares into the ink-black void. Upon her trembling lips, a question born. A forbidden query of what may be and what may not be. The void, unyielding to the girl's plight, stares back. It speaks.
Close your eyes, my love, and be still, for this is the end and the beginning.
Oh! How can this be?
Mariana Moon was in the bilge at the time. I guess the sound traveled down through the open vent.
Her pipe is a dictaphone.
Dang.
So the first voice belongs to Sim, and then there's a second voice, a woman's voice.
It's someone else entirely. This film matches up to the audio from the pipe recording.
And see how in the poster there's a little Grim Reaper guy? That's the person from the film.
I am undone.
Hang on. Why does Sim have a film of a Grim Reaper character? Where'd it come from?
It's a scene from Dirk's movie.
Oh yeah, good catch.
Okay, so Sim put the projector into the doll, and it projected onto the circular window at the back of the room.
If the doll was sitting on the cauldron, where was the real Sim? The cabinet to the side? I don't get why she couldn't just sit in the cauldron herself.
Listen to the end of the recording again.
Close your eyes, my love, and be still, for this is the end and the beginning.
Right at the end, it sounds like something falls onto the floor. Something solid. The doll's head. The whole thing culminates with the cloaked figure swinging the scythe. Sim screams, pulls a string, and the doll is decapitated.
Oh, geez, that's kind of dark.
I lay awake that night, eyes wide with regret, able to bear it no longer. The decision was made. I would tear it all down, the whole misbegotten affair.
So that's why you went back to the Illusion Theater.
And that's when you found Mortuga.
The image of his lifeless form. It filled me with a great thunderous guilt.
But why? You think you might have actually caused Mortuga's death somehow?
I know not the manner of Magnus Mortuga's death, but I do know this. The night of the stargazing girl, it was his last.
So, even if his death was unrelated, you feel bad that your trick was one of the last things he ever saw.
When we began, you implied that I laid a curse upon him, and I say this. Maybe I